And summer doesn't officially arrive until next month, but already it is hot enough to make unattended cars dangerous for your four-legged friends. Thanks so much for making KJCT News 8 this morning the Western Slope's #1 morning newscast. And meanwhile, the El Paso County Elections Office is issuing replacement ballots for voters who've been forced from their homes by wildfires. Thousands of rural post offices will stay open but have shorter operating hours thanks to a new government plan. Investigators say for some reason a car heading east on the highway lost control, jumped the median, and then plowed right into a van heading the other way. We tried reaching out to Mr. Kistner's legal counsel, but they never returned our calls. City workers want you to call before you come in because they might be closed. Hobson says even with the economy the way that it is, it's not necessarily a bad thing for the agriculture industry. I don't think that there's really such a thing as a truly ugly dog. Roswell's police chief sent out this memo to officers telling them they'll no longer detain or jail undocumented immigrants if there's no other crime being committed. Now, the shooting happened Friday. No names have been released, but police say the man was 39 and the woman is 31.
ADOT's put up these temporary traffic lights so that people can get from one side of Frontage Road to the other. The fields behind me might be looking kind of empty right now, but this weekend you should expect to see 30,000 people here. We are starting off this half hour of news with a report that is sure to get you talking. People we talk to that even text while driving themselves approve it. We were just briefed by state police and they say that the Gutierrez incident came to an end at 2 this morning. Save our fireworks for, I don't know, December?
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
And this year for the rodeo, new pens have been put up just like this one so that both the people and animals can stay safe. You know, one thing that's really made us happy here at KJCT News 8 is the fact that people have been contacting us on our Facebook and on our email asking how corporations and even local businesses can get involved. I mean, how would you recommend that? Griego tells us that if the bill goes through, it should go into effect by next ski season.
Taos Valley ski officials say they will likely charge the Lopez family for the money spent searching for their son.
Community members showed up by the dozens at the District 51 meeting last night, calling for less cuts to teachers and more to administration. And I was talking to people about this report. There wasn't a single person that didn't have something to say about pit bulls. And while we'll let you draw your own conclusions, it nonetheless fuels the fire on this ongoing debate. So, do pit bulls really deserve the negative attention that they get? Well, here's what we learned. Here's a question for you. What do the cities of Louisville, Denver, and Castle Rock all have in common? Well, they're just a handful of the growing number of Colorado cities that have bans on pit bulls. And according to the Animal Law Center, these bans started popping up based on studies done in the late 1980s on dog attacks. And it seems like everybody has an opinion on whether or not pit bulls like Oso here are vicious. So we went to the experts to see why that is.
Pit bulls are taking the brunt now. Earlier in the 70s, it was the Dobermans because those were the status symbol. Then it was the Rottweilers that came along. They were the bad boys, and now it's the pit bulls. So it's just kind of that element that wants the tough dog.
This tough dog gang symbol leads us to Shauna Davis, the founder of the Grand Valley Pit Crew, and her pit bull, Marina.
3 years ago this summer, there was a dog fighting incident in Delta. She was one of the dogs that was fighting. She was covered in blood when the animal control officers came and picked them up.
And here's Marina today. You would never guess that she was abused.
And that's just it. You'd never guess. Dog aggression towards other dogs happens in all breeds.
And it's that aggression that leads to heightened awareness of dog attacks involving pit bulls.
A dog came up, and while my son was riding his bike, he got bit. And it didn't hurt him. I ran over there, pushed the dog away, and he was fine.
Ricky Keller's son was bitten by a pit bull recently, but she doesn't blame the breed.
I blame mostly the owners because they should have had their dogs in the yard. Any dog can bite if they're not raised in the right environment. Don't have a St. Bernard and live in an apartment, you know, right? Have a St. Bernard and have a ranch.
And it's that sense of responsibility that's echoed throughout the Grand Valley.
Where a dog bites a child, where were their owners? What were they doing? Why weren't they with their dog? And what kind of situation is their dog in right now? Is it a good? Are they neglected? Are they exercised frequently?
And all these factors are part of the big picture when a dog bites someone.
Any dog can bite. Most bites are with young children between ages 6 to 14. Most of the time, kids don't know how to approach a dog properly. They're left alone. They get near the dog's food. They get an animal cornered, and the dog just lashes out.
According to Mesa County Animal Services, despite popular belief, pit bulls did not top the list of dog bites in 2011.
Pit bull type dog bites were ranked about 4th out of 5. The most being herding dogs like cattle dogs, border collies, there's no higher distinction, no higher number of pit bull bites than any other breed. There's no difference from any other dog. I couldn't say I've been bitten. I've never been bitten by a pit bull. I've been bitten by other dogs, but never a pit bull. So,
for those who support the breed, it all comes down to nature versus nurture.
There's plenty of dogs that you can turn into a mean dog. I myself was cornered by a border collie, purebred border collie, and I actually was very scared. If you raise a dog to be good, more than likely they're going to be a good dog.
And so why haven't bans been enacted right here on the Western Slope? Well, experts we spoke with tell us that breed bans don't really work. They say they're expensive to enforce, and studies show that they don't make a community any safer. It's something Dr. Ryan agrees with, saying it's not the animal, but rather the people who raise them improperly that cause the danger.